I'm going to do something different. Watch.
No.
Yeah, we live? Here we go.
No.
Welcome to the Boomer Bunker Show.
Oh, the Eagles.
We will start after this cool
intro. I don't need that effect.
Dick.
In the chat room.
Remix.
Don't make our mods have to kick you.
Nobody's here anyway.
Bob and John are boomers and they're slow.
Just click on this link.
And you will know.
Please don't make fun of me.
That would be elderly abuse. Welcome to a chat room where people used to hang with people they liked one day. Eric, because Dean parked his car outside Eric's door doesn't mean Adam has to change. Song lyrics are okay. You probably know that Nick guy commenting next to you. You may
know the pellet
next to you. You'll think, why am I here chatting with you? After all that said, just don't forget.
Bob and John are boomers, now you know.
It's time for the Boomer
The
Bunker.
bitch with that is it changes the whole song.
Remember, if you get too rude,
Twitch requires us to deal with you.
I made a parody. Press them buttons, dog. Let's start this.
You woke up this morning, got a notification. Boomer Bunker's going live. It's Bob and John. You said, I guess I'll watch this shit show. I've got to kill some time. Then you clicked on that link now. You've got boomers in your eyes. Yeah, we woke up this morning. Our glory days are gone. Don't take us serious, 'cause we're probably wrong, but we're doing a podcast, baby. This means we're going live. It's Monday morning and it's Boomer Bunker time. So say it now. Woke up this morning. Put some boomers in your life. Woke up this morning. Gotta put some boomers in your life. Boomer Bunker Rush Hour Special. We got 70 minutes, so let's dive in it. Planning to slow John down as much as I can, I am Boomer Bob, and nursing an Eagles chubby, my hetero podmate, John Jamingo.
Bob, I'll tell you what. This is a real fantasy football, I don't know, fuckery for me, because here's the problem. I am beating you by like 20-something points, 25 points, I think, in fantasy football.
Yeah, but you got like 3 guys that are going to play tonight.
I got 3 guys that played tonight. But the thing is, your last guy to play is Jalen Hurts, who's the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I need him to do a good job tonight. So I don't know whether to root to beat you or have Jalen have a great game and you beat me. I think if I got to take and pick one, I'd rather have you beat me.
What do you want more? Them to be 9-0, or you want you to be however many and however
9-0, dude. 9-0.
Well, then, damn fantasy football all the time.
That's what I say. That's why I hate not having like quarterbacks. I got Duchess. Duchess was sitting there and she had the tight end Dallas Goedert on the bench. She wasn't playing him and she needed a kicker, and I had Dicker the kicker. I said, I'll trade you Dicker the kicker for Dallas Goedert, and she said yes. So next week I'll have Dallas Goedert, which is good because one of my guys, Cooper Kupp, who was a big point getter for me, hurt his ankle, and he's going to be out for quite some time. So, all right, listen.
Well,
the Eagles play tonight at 8:15. It's 7:05. We've got 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let's fucking get to it.
All righty.
Jay Leno set himself on fire in his garage.
Well, it's been a while since he was a hot,
Oh, he's a hot mess
celebrity.
now. Now he needs, like he says, he needs a couple of weeks to kind of let things heal.
Yeah.
Have you ever set yourself on fire, Bob?
Not intentionally.
No. If you unintentionally set yourself on fire?
Just small parts. Yeah. Just like real quick, like my sleeve or something. Like, oh, shit. And,
Well, my father used to work he was an auto mechanic and he used to work in the garage. And when I would come in and he would, sometimes the car wouldn't start. So he would take like a screwdriver and back then they had carburetors and he'd put the screwdriver on the carburetor to open up the choke and he'd pour some gas in there and he'd turn it over. Well, it backfired one day and his whole arm went up in flames and he grabbed his arm like this and he went and he pulled it and then he took like this and he put it down on his pants. I was like, whoa. How did that happen? He goes, oh, well, see, gas, the liquid don't burn, the vapors burn. So if you just, and then put it out. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Fast forward about, 25, 30 years, I am at a 4-H fair at a horse show, and we're in charge of the kitchen, and I have to light the grill, and the grill is propane. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to figure out which way these things go to light the grill. I've never been there before. So I'm in there, and I've got the lighter, and I can't get it to work right. I went outside and turned the gas on outside, and I'm sitting in there trying to turn, and all of a sudden I heard the gas come on. And when I had the lighter lit, all of a sudden I saw this fireball coming, like right at me, kind of like in Independence Day. And I whipped my head back, but I didn't get it quick enough. And it got my beard caught on fire, my eyebrows, and the top of my head.
That was going to be my first question was how long did it take your eyebrows to grow back?
So,
just taking my goatee forever.
And so my daughter and my wife was in there at the time and they were laughing because when I saw it, I did one of these things where you just leaned back. I threw myself on the floor because I knew it was coming. So they're laughing at me that I fell on the floor. So when I got up, my hair was still on fire. And they're like, oh my God, you're on fire. So I'm like, I put my hair out. And I had to go to the hospital and I had first degree burns on my face. My beard was gone. My eyebrows were gone. My eyelashes were gone. Part of my hair was gone.
Ouch.
So yeah, it's not good, but hopefully that's what he has. But I think they say a 2nd degree burns on his left side of his face. So I think that's probably what happened with him.
I'm sure with all the money he has, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. But see, that's the thing. All that money, it can't buy your health. And if he's all like boogered up in his face, not that he had the greatest face in the world. His face already looked like a catcher's mitt.
Hey, maybe he'll come out, better looking.
Possibly he could.
I'm going to bring up our next article here, if that's okay.
Sure.
Husband and wife teachers fired in Arizona after students discover OnlyFans content. Now, reportedly, students found the explicit content, and it appeared to be filmed in Samantha's, I guess that's one of the students' classrooms. So they did it in one of the classrooms at the school.
Yes, they said, well, I have her statement from her. She put a statement out on YouTube. You want to hear it in her own words?
Sure.
Hello, my name is Samantha Peer, or some of you might know me by my alias, Chloe Carter. I was an employee at Thunderbolt for 5 years. And within this time, although my experience and evaluation showed that I had become a master science specialist and teacher, my salary did not increase. In this time period, I had to continue picking up extra stipends in order to make ends meet, such as co-advisor to yearbook club, STEM club advisor. I was mentoring a group of 4 uncertified new teachers and was going to coach softball in the spring. It got to a point where our family was not able to survive on our 2 teacher incomes. My children are the most important thing to me, and I'm already spending countless hours outside of my contract time on extra school activities, and I don't think it's fair that I have to sacrifice my own children's time because our professional salary did not pay enough. Arizona is currently ranked to 50th state as lowest paid teacher salary. I created a content at the beginning of the summer in order to earn extra money on the side to help pay for our basic necessities that our salaries were no longer meeting. I chose an anonymous name as well as blocking the entire state of Arizona on my OnlyFans so that it wasn't accessible to anyone living in the state. It was brought to my attention on October 24th that a community member had expressed concerns to the police and my school regarding video content. At this
All
time,
right, this thing goes on for like another 4.5 minutes. So my question to you is this bullshit about, not being able to make money as a teacher? Her and her husband worked as a teacher. Or was this their kink? They got caught, and this is her trying to cover a cat turd in a litter box.
Okay, well, prior to this, I only had one question, but now I have two. Does she not understand how VPNs work?
Yeah. Oh, that's number one. Okay, but here's the other thing too. Does she look like she's OnlyFans material?
Half of her face says yes, the other half says no. The half that doesn't move with the other half.
Yeah, maybe she's got maybe she's got the palsy, the Bell Pauly. I don't know.
My main question says husband and wife teachers fired in Arizona after students discover OnlyFans account.
Right.
What were the students that are under 18 doing on OnlyFans?
Well, you would imagine how does that happen?
I mean, I get it. It's just a click of a button. You don't have to swipe your driver's license, but
Well, I tried to do a deep dive, Bob, because you know me. I am, I'm a giver. I give to this show. And I tried to find her account on OnlyFans, and I could not. I used her name. I
took it down.
I guess she took it down, but she's already fired, so why take it down? Now, it was your only. She would probably be making bank right now with people.
That's true. Throw it back up. You probably get some,
Yeah, I would have paid. I would have paid for a month to see what she had. What kind of content she had.
Wouldn't you just take down the content that was in the classroom?
No, I wouldn't have taken anything down. I've already quit. My husband's been fired. I got to feed my kids. What am I going to do? Walk or Walmart? Or am I going to shake my tuna for all the world to see and make a couple bucks? Because I'm not the only one that went over there looking for her OnlyFans.
Maybe her husband has bigger boobs than her.
I don't know. We've never seen a picture of her husband. But so your lovely wife says it's what she does in her personal life is her own business. Is it?
You know what? She is no longer my wife. She is my housekeeper.
What?
Because when I die or she divorces me, she's going to keep my house.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe something happened over the weekend.
No, it was a play on words.
I gotcha.
I'm very punny, John.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yes. So anyhow, I just don't again. I think that it's weird because once you cross that line, I think you have to have there's certain things teachers can't do. Like she can't be a go-go dancer or stripper. You shouldn't be able to go on OnlyFans. There's a certain. Am I wrong on this?
Aren't there other ways to make money?
Not like OnlyFans. Some of those OnlyFans. Well, listen, she's probably like a bottom tier OnlyFans. She's probably got to do some real.
Hey, a couple $100. Look at us. Okay. I was thinking, you know what? I could maybe do this 3-4 days a week, monetize a little, put a little coin in my pocket.
What, here? This show? Nah.
No, not this one. No, it's your ass dragging me down.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start sending all the emails I get. Like, where the hell is the show at? Are we not putting the show out as a podcast anymore? No,
it's a live stream. So
I pulled all the audio. I'm going to start just editing them and putting them out myself. Anyhow, yeah, I just
fired.
No, you're not fired. How can you be fired if you don't do any work? As far as putting the show out as a podcast,
just be really bad at it.
Right. Well, you are that. You haven't put one out. This is episode 144, and I think the last one we put up was 139. Maybe.
A couple episodes. It's all right. What are they missing? Old content?
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I might just put this one out as 144.
Yeah.
Fuck the old ones.
Screw it.
Right. There we go. Just
They don't like it. They can fill out a comment card.
They do. They sent it to me. I'm going to start giving them your address. Bob at Boomer Bob. Bob, no. Boomer Bob. Wait a minute.
BoomerBobShow@gmail.com.
Boomer Bob. Yeah. BoomerBobShow@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Email him.
Yes, please do.
So, but again, I think that if they didn't do it at school in a classroom, if that probably pushed it over the edge, she might have been able to, if she just did it on her own and they found it, she did all these things.
Right. I think if it's in the private, if it's in the privacy of their own home, whatever, not on school grounds, I don't think there's any grounds there for termination. If anything, the kids who found it should be questioned as to what they're doing on OnlyFans at their age.
Correct.
But she did it in the classroom, and therefore I think that's grounds for being fired.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame. It's a shame she probably isn't going to make that much money on OnlyFans, although she was like, how smart is she that she took that down once this became a story and people were going to start looking for her?
Well, she had to read her like explanation off of her phone because she was swipe. You know, it was almost as bad as a Biden thing. I mean, it was almost. Oops.
I don't know what the chat's even talking about right now.
I don't either because I'm not paying much attention to it, and I'm sorry, chat. We love you, but
yeah, it's just
trying to pack in a lot in a little bit of time. It was almost as bad as this, John.
I can't have trouble reading this. Reuters, Nathaniel Bose.
Yeah.
Hey, sounds like me.
Yeah, well, you're not running a country.
No.
End of the ground. My bad.
Remember last episode when you had that Nirvana shirt and they were playing, who played this song?
Yes.
Well, I have another one that Duchess sent me. This one cracks me up. Listen to this.
Prince.
Okay. Rylan, I need you to tell me who sings this song and what song it is.
Why is there a hickey on your leg?
Is this from the 80s?
Is it from the 80s? Yeah, well, it is.
Like your parents.
Huh? Any guess? No idea.
Is it one of your friends?
One of your friends. I wish. Well, he's dead now, so.
Is it like a famous person?
Is it a famous person?
There's a clue in this room. Who sings this song?
You.
There's a clue.
My blue vein. My blue vein.
Still don't get it.
That's your offspring, buddy.
I got to tell you, I still go back to the thing. If you don't know the song, you should be able to wear the shirt.
That's where you go at. Yep, you're just like your mama.
Yeah.
Those ain't my genes.
Someone in the chat, I don't even know how to say that. Oh, TFM Jody B. That motherfucking Who's Right Doug bought a shirt that says I actually listen to the bands on my t-shirts. That's what we need.
Who's Right Doug put out a quick TikTok of him using his toilet. I didn't get it. Sorry. Then he put out one of him being able to wiggle this ear, which is kind of a talent, I would say. He can wiggle his left ear like by itself. It's pretty neat. I don't know how he did it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Talent.
Do that.
While you're pulling up our next top topic there, I want to brief over turkeys this Thanksgiving are going to be 23% more because of bird flu, and they're going to be harder to find. Now, I didn't understand this one. I think they screwed up because they said adults under 32 plan to host an average of 10 guests. I think they meant over 32. And I don't know anyone under 32 that I would qualify as an adult. So
okay.
That's Thanksgiving info. Turkeys are going to cost you more this year. Go figure.
So here's the thing. all my kids this year are going to their boyfriend's house for Thanksgiving. Normally, I go over to the ex's
And your
house.
son?
Yes, same thing.
So he's
anyhow,
going to his boyfriend's house.
Yeah, he's going to his boyfriend's house.
Check.
So, so the ex isn't cooking, so there's no turkey, no Thanksgiving this year. And everybody's like, "What are you going to do about Thanksgiving?" I said, "I'm going to the Wawa. I'm going to get some gobbler. I'm going to get some stuffing, some sweet potatoes, a little mashed potatoes, and I'll be fine. I don't need it." Here's the thing: if you can't get a turkey, go out and get a couple chickens and just roast some chickens. What's the big deal? What's the difference? You can't really. I'll be honest with you. I like chicken better than I like turkey.
Well, it's if you plan ahead, you can stock up on a few McRibs and just save them.
Yeah, you only got 6 days apparently.
I know, and so they'll keep,
yes,
ziplock them.
Right. All right, Bob. Well, I'll tell you what, the Republicans, they're pissed. They have no idea how they lost this election. This is ridiculous. Here we go.
So think about this. We have the worst inflation in 4 decades, the worst collapse in real wages in 40 years, the worst crime wave since the 1990s, the worst border crisis in U.S. history. We have Joe Biden, who is the least popular president since Harry Truman, since presidential polling happened, and there wasn't a red wave. That is a searing indictment of the Republican Party. That is a searing indictment of the message that we have been sending to the voters. They looked at all of that and looked at the Republican alternative and said, no, thanks. The Republican Party needs to do a really deep introspection look in the mirror right now, because this is an absolute disaster for the Republican Party, and we need to turn back.
All right, Bob.
All right, John.
Why did the Republicans lose, in your humble opinion?
Well, let me just preface this, that there's been zero Republicans that have complained that we are heading into day 7 of counting, or 6 of counting. I haven't heard of any lawyers, no plan, no outrage.
Well, that's not true, Bob. They're
the Democrats magically just keep doing better as each day goes by.
Carrie, they're protest. They're pissed. They're also, that's all they've got right now, is that right now they're talking about how long, like in the states where they're still counting, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania.
Well, I don't know what it is right now, but I know earlier it was 19 races that were yet to be called. Most of them were in California. Senate was locked in for climate change, trans kids, and inflation. In other words, Democrats. And Congress is looking like it might go red, which is going to launch a ton of investigations and more gridlock. And then if Congress goes red, we're going to get, I guess, Jenny McCarthy or Melissa McCarthy. One of them damn McCarthys becomes a Speaker of the House.
All right. So you're saying that basically that this mail-in ballot, this early voting is the reason. You're saying that the Democrats are cheating. Is that what you're saying?
No, I can show you why, my take on why Republicans didn't do as well. Mitch McConnell and his super PAC. GOP group has spent about $178 million on advertising in 5 key U.S. Senate races. Here's what they are: Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. I see nothing about Colorado or any other state where they needed to maintain or pick up seats. In other words, anybody who came out like, let's say, Boebert, who was kind of anti this, dumping money into Ukraine, right?
You mean NRA Barbie?
Yes, NRA Barbie, who is very anti-dumping money into Ukraine, into this war. Now, what does that mean, John, the dumping money into war? It means supporting the military-industrial complex, which all of these assholes are known for supporting.
Okay. So that's where you're going. I have a different take.
Yes.
Can I have a minute or so of your time,
please,
to explain my take? All right. So my take is that we only have a 20 or 30% of people in this country that you can sway their votes. Democrats are going to vote Democrat. Republicans are going to vote Republican. And the reason I say that is that that guy, John Fetterman, got elected in Pennsylvania, and he can barely speak. All right. So that being said, so you've got, I don't know, 30% on one side, 30% on the other side. Then they're just going to vote. The 40% of independents that don't have any party loyalty whatsoever, they're the only ones you can sway. And what they did was they sat there and looked at the Republicans' message. They looked at Donald Trump, who they do not like. The independents do not like Donald Trump. They do not like the fact that the Republicans are the party of anti-abortion or pro-life, whatever you want to use. And they took all that and they said, fuck that. I don't want that. I'll vote Democrat. So this is what the Republicans have to do. They have to get off of this anti-abortion, pro-life thing. This has to come off their platform. They got to go live and listen, we don't like abortion. We don't approve of it. We don't believe in it. We'll never have an abortion. But if you want to have your womb scraped, that's fine.
That's where Lindsey Graham should be looked at as a saboteur.
Forget about that. They're still talking about it. And listen, I listen to a lot of conservative talk, and not one of them will look in the mirror and say, Donald Trump's we got to get him out of this party. Number one, let him run as an independent. Get him out of this. Well, if he runs as an independent, he'll fuck the Republicans even worse because he'll just split the party vote and they'll never elect another Republican. Got to get him off the ballot, and they've got to stop with this anti-abortion shit, this pro-life stuff. You got to get it. You got to get off that.
I mean, not that it was ever going to cool off, but after the Supreme Court bullshit in regards to the abortion thing, it was, you know, it was kind of easing back. It was not the top story in the news every time or on Twitter every time you opened up fucking Twitter. And then Lindsey Graham comes out with this bill that he's going to ban all abortions and pay, like, what are you doing? That's a saboteur thing, man. That's just fucked up. He's an idiot and he needs to be voted out next time around.
So, well, right now, Cocaine Mitch is circling the wagons because the Republicans are pissed and they're coming for somebody's head. And they want everybody that's in charge of the Republican Party to go. They want new leadership. They want a new message. They want it all. And again, I listened to Ted Cruz has a podcast called The Verdict. I suggested everybody go and listen to his last episode because he lays it all out there. I mean, it's better to get it from the horse's mouth. I'll be honest with you. I think every politician, every senator, every congressman should have a podcast, and they should talk about the issues so people can go listen to them.
Well, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
This particular race right here.
This is ridiculous.
3.9, just over 3.9 million votes. Now, if I were to click over to the governor race, there's the same amount of votes, not 100%, you know, 1-to-1, but there was just over 3.9 million votes there too.
Okay.
You're telling me that everybody who voted for, what was the name, Kemp?
Mm-hmm.
The governor, who beat what's her nuts, Abrams by something like 300,000 votes.
Correct.
You're telling me that everybody who marked Kemp, Republican, got down the ballot and went, you know what, I'm going to vote for Warnock.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's exactly what they
Bullshit.
did. They did because one and one reason only. Well, two. One, Walker's brain damage from playing football.
We know that, but still, so are voters who vote straight party.
And number two, it's the abortion issue. It is the abortion issue. They do not want.
Okay, this Senate has virtually fucking nothing to do with abortion. That's governor. That's Congress.
What are you talking about? It's a state by state thing.
Right now it is.
Yeah.
But Congress could codify it if they have enough seats, but they're not going to, because if it goes red enough, then it won't.
If you listen to Walker is the black John Fetterman.
I got you.
He's a muttering, stumbling fool, and you hear him talk. He can barely talk, And what did Dave Chappelle say? Even when he doesn't talk, he's got his mouth open and he looks like he's brain down.
Says he's observantly stupid or something like that.
He's observantly stupid. By the way, one of the best 15-minute stand-up acts I've ever seen was opening.
Yeah, the wife and I watched it before the show. I wanted to make sure that I was brushed up on it. And that was him doing his monologue when he appeared on SNL the other night was amazing.
Outstanding.
Amazing.
I swear to, and I've seen them all. The best stand-up comic, bar none, that I've ever seen, probably that has ever lived to date. And
I loved his take on Donald Trump too. That he's an honest liar. And then when he elaborated on that, he went back to the first debate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. You know?
He said, change the tax codes. He says that someone came out of that room, told us the truth, and then walked right back in that room and started doing the same shit again.
Yeah, he said everything that y'all think we're doing in there, we are doing. And then they went back in that room.
And started doing it again.
Yep.
Exactly. The problem with Trump is he's a man baby. I didn't like him the very first time he ran. He was a man baby, and I didn't like him, and I knew exactly what he was going to do, and he's doing it right now. He's running from all the people that lost. He said, he's blaming his wife for Dr. Oz. Now, what kind of piece of shit blames his wife? I mean, listen, even if his wife did talk him into it, why do you throw your wife under the bus? And that's exactly how he's going to govern. And I'll tell you what, you watch, because the thing about the vaccines, he's the one that started this Operation Warp Speed to get these vaccines out. And these Democrats, they're still hanging on to this. And once it starts to turn where people are going to start blaming the vaccines for all this shit that's going on, you wait and you see what happens. Those Democrats are going to hang this vaccine around Donald Trump's neck, and Donald Trump's going to run from it like it's, I don't know, like a bag of flaming shit, which is exactly what it is. And this is what we got to put up with. So I think I'm a libertarian. There she is. Look at her. Isn't she cute?
So Representative Boebert is locked in an unexpectedly close race. I think, what was the difference? Or I looked when I had to go to a physical today, and around 2:00, and she was something like 6,000 votes off.
No, I think she's in the lead now. She's in the lead. Yeah, she's definitely.
Yeah, but it wasn't a very big lead.
No, it's not.
Hey, at my physical, I learned I got a prescription to get DP'd.
Double penetrated?
Yep. By the same doctor. She said that, because I was like, okay, woman goes, the doctor was like, hey, you want me to schedule you for a colonoscopy? And I was like, well, not really. Like, who the fuck wants that? And then she, later on we talked some more, talking about, acid reflux and GERD and all that stuff. And I'm a smoker. She was like, yeah, I probably need to have a scope done on your esophagus. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, the same doctor can do both. They can do both at the same time. And I'm like, oh, so they can go up my ass and down my throat.
Well, I prefer them go down my throat first.
That's what I told the wife. I said, I'm not into ass to mouth. It better go mouth to ass.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that I can handle.
My wife doesn't think that they will do both at the same time. I'm like, well, fuck, if I'm knocked out, I'm not going to know the difference.
Do they knock you out for that? I don't think they knock you out for the
They knock you out for the colonoscopy.
They do?
They do here. I don't know what they do up in Jersey. Y'all may be able to just say, all right, just go ahead. Fuck it. Get it over with. Let's go.
I just shit in a box.
Well, that's just to tell you whether or not you should go up and get a colonoscopy.
Right. Okay.
How'd that come back? Did you ever get those results? No. Oh, it's like a Democrat vote.
Takes too long.
Results ain't in yet.
Correct.
They haven't counted them all.
Yeah. Yeah. So NRA Barbie's up by 1,000 votes.
Is that it? Wow.
Let me see if I can get that story up here. This is NBC. It's the same one you had. It's the same one you
got it from your shit.
Okay.
I thought we were done with it.
No, it's just, my God, she's an attractive woman. That's all I got to say.
I don't like her mouth. Because it's always meh. Fucking never stops.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it's 159,000 to 158,000. She's less than 1,000 votes. Less than 1,000 votes.
Did now Trump was supposed to announce something, I guess his 2024 bid, whatever, today. Did that ever happen?
I haven't heard it, to be honest with you.
And Pence is cashing in on a January 6th on the January 6th bullshit by releasing a memoir about it.
Mm-hmm.
What an asshole. Got to cash in on it.
I don't see what this Boomer 886 is talking. So what? She's the hottest idiot. I don't care. I don't care anything about it. She's hot.
Yeah, I don't think she's all that hot. I think she's like an Alabama like 8.
I do have one thing about the president or the elections. This is the Republicans. This is the Republican election.
Oh, now that was at an air show, right?
That was in Dallas.
Yeah, that was whose idea was that?
That killed six people. One in the fighter jet. I don't know what this guy was thinking. He was coming by and he ran right into. Look at that. I mean, basically 9/11. That took the tail off. And then boom, that was the end of that. The only thing that I can say is they were low to the ground and it happened fast. They didn't really get a chance to it was real
Play
quick.
stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah. So that was that.
Did you hear about that Meta last week they laid off, or were going to lay off 11,000 people, or 13% of its workforce. Stocks were down 70% this year. Profits were down 50% this quarter. Now Amazon's announcing that they're going to lay off 10,000 people, which is weird because don't they usually hire? Aren't companies like that usually hiring for the holiday season? And do you think that this is signs of a recession that they'll never admit to?
Well, that's part of it. Who has money for Christmas this year?
Everybody I know is just buying themselves shit.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
like groceries and a tank of gas.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has money to go out and buy extravagant things. It's a shit show right now that's going on. And people see the problem was that Democrats didn't feel the pain enough. They're going to feel the pain next year. They're going to feel 2023 is going to be a shit show because it's not going to get any better. It's getting worse.
Going back to the Dave Chappelle thing on SNL real quick, did you know I'd heard this? Now I don't know if it's 100% verified or true or not, but Lorne Michaels was being accused of allowing anti-Semitic content on SNL
from Chappelle.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, Lorne Michaels. His name is Lorne Michaels Lipowitz. He's a Canadian Jew.
Okay,
so. I mean, you might as well, accuse Dave Chappelle of being a white supremacist.
Listen, in the very beginning, he came out and said, I am against all anti-Semitism in all ways, and I also stand with my Jewish friends.
Yeah, but then he goes, all right, Kanye, that's how you do that, and buys you some time.
Right, which is the truth.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I listened to that whole thing and I didn't hear any anti-Semitism whatsoever. All he said was, you never say these two words together, the and Jews. You don't never say the Jews. If you start a sentence with the Jews, you're going to be in trouble.
Unless you're going to say are awesome afterwards.
I guess. See, that's when you get in trouble. Whenever there's a problem, and you pick out one group of people, that's where you get in trouble. You can't say, the Jews, the blacks, the whites.
Well, you can say the whites all you want. Nobody cares about that.
Well, you can't really. I know some people that care about it.
See if I've got it here.
The whites care about it.
Here, I got one I can share with you.
Okay.
If I can get to it. There we go. It's a cupcake sale.
Oh,
price structure as follows: white people $2, Asian people $1.50, Latino, Hispanic un bowler. Black and African American, 75 cents. Native American, 25 cents, and 25 cents off for all women.
You know what that is?
Racist as fuck. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's a Caucasian tax. That's basically what that is right there. What they're doing right now is basically what the Ku Klux Klan does, except they flip the pyramid. Well, how much is it for a gay person? I guess a gay person would also get it for 25 cents.
Depends on what color they are.
If it was a gay black women,
if it's a gay Native American, they'll probably give them all the cupcakes and whatever's in the till.
Yeah, you get all the cupcakes and a $10 bill.
Whatever's in the cigar box. Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that, Bob. You fascist.
I don't understand how that's allowed, period, anywhere. But
it shouldn't be.
Well,
4 years ago, we did a story in New Orleans. There was a place, and if you were black, your lunch was $5. If you were white, it was $25. And I said, what fucking white person would ever eat there? Ever. That's a white tax. I wouldn't pay it. There's no way I would pay it. The same way when you got to buy 2 seats in an airplane, that's a fat tax. Although you are taking up 2 seats of real estate, so really it isn't. You're paying for real estate is what you're paying.
Yeah, I mean, what if you were charged for your airline ticket by the pound?
That's acceptable. That's acceptable. But you get, in other words, no, I still think it's, by the size of you and the seat.
I mean, if we put you in a box and we mailed your ass, they're going to charge by the size of the package, both in measurement and in weight.
Yeah, but it's a bigger box, right? So it's real estate, how much it takes up.
Well,
Twitter's still on fire. I see all the liberals are freaking out. Oh, there's a mass exodus from Twitter. Twitter's getting bigger and bigger. More conservatives are coming back. They're starting new accounts because they've already been banned on another account. It's been so years and they'll never catch them. So they're started. And Twitter, to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with Twitter right now. Oh, there's all kinds of hate words and racism. Bullshit. Racism. So you can actually go over there and have a conversation now. But what the problem is that the liberals and the left have had it so good over there so long that they never had to have anybody question their position or ask them for facts or even send facts their way that might actually be an issue for their point of view. They don't want that. So anyhow, the problem is right now is that Elon Musk is basically, he's a rogue person with a big giant platform. And if he thinks that this government's going to allow him to come and have free speech, you got another thing coming. So Ed Markey, Democrat from Massachusetts, clashed with billionaire Elon Musk in an online exchange Sunday, telling the world's richest man to fix your companies or Congress will after Musk mocked the senator's complaints about Twitter. Friday, Markey sent a letter to Musk asking for more information about how accounts on Twitter are being verified and accusing the social media company's new owner of allowing the spread of disinformation or putting profits over people. Markey sent the letter to Musk after his account was copied by the Washington Post reporter, and then to show how easy it was to impersonate notable figures. The fake Markey account, which was set up with a senator's permission, later was suspended. All right. So what do you think as far as, I think what he was trying to do was generate generate money where you pay to play in Twitter. If you pay for it, you get more things.
Well, I think part of it was he wanted, if there's going to be bot accounts or faux accounts, then he wants to benefit from it and help pay some of the bill. I think he's losing something like $4 million a month right now on in operational costs on Twitter. So
it was a week, $4 million a week.
Maybe it is,
or is it a day? I'm not even sure, but it's a lot of money.
It's not a day.
Here's the thing: he went in there, and every Twitter office has a kitchen. and that kitchen serves lunch. And a lot of people were working from home, but the lunch people were still making lunch. They were going in making lunch for everybody.
Right.
And he said that it was costing him a shit ton of money.
It was $400 per employee for meals.
Right.
I know that sounds a lot, but
I think it was $400 per meal. So in other words, for lunch, it cost them $400 every day for them to put out lunch. That's how I read it. He stopped all that. He made people come back into the office, and he said he's saving $13 million a year just by killing the lunch program and getting rid of the wine and all that shit that they have inside the kitchen.
Well, I mean, if you're wondering why, Twitter wasn't technically profitable before, now you know why, because they lived like kings and queens there, and which is I guess that's nice if you work there, but how do you not? When you work there, you get things like stock and that kind of stuff as a bonus or payment, whatever. You get options, and wouldn't you be there, eating like that and walking in and going, man, this place is ridiculously nice. I bet this cost a lot of fucking money, right?
Right.
Well, that's killing your stock. How do you not make the connection?
Okay, so places like the casinos and places where you don't want people leaving and you're making food anyhow for the, for your customers. I can see doing something like, having them make a couple extra trays of this and that and give it to the employees so they don't have to go out and give them a hot meal. It's kind of like a perk.
Right.
That I can see. But these people that are just showing up or not showing up during COVID for that whole 2 years that they weren't going to the office, and you're doing, and now all of a sudden you have a kitchen that's serving shrimp over rice with some steamed vegetables.
Must be nice.
Dean says gas at $7 a gallon. That's why they're our home.
You ever eat off the roach coach, John?
Oh yeah, man! I told you, dirty water dogs. Love dirty water dogs. You get in Philadelphia. You get dirty water dogs with the onions that they have. I don't even know what they do to the onions, but they're fantastic. Got like a little sauce to them.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on there. A little bit of ketchup. Outstanding. Or dirty water dog, sauerkraut, mustard, and onions. Big fan.
Dirty water dog, quality bun. I'm straight.
Used to eat off them all the time. Roach coaches are good. What else? Oh, you used to have in the winter, in the summertime, they'd have the Asians out there and they would make this fruit salad and they'd bring all this fruit in and they'd cut it all up, like a samurai warrior.
Yeah.
And you get a thing of fruit. That was good too. Also in Philadelphia, they used to have these Chinese buffets where you used to go in and buy whatever you could get whatever you want, but it was a certain amount of money per ounce. So we used to go in and see who we could spend the most for lunch. All righty. What else we want to get into?
Whatever you want, bud.
Well, I figured I've been running this thing for a little while. You said you had a bunch of stuff I didn't know about.
You have not.
What else you got? What do you got on your side that I don't know?
These nuts.
Nothing? You have nothing else? You put everything on the board?
It takes me. No, there's a ton. Well, you got the same fucking board that I do. You got on here. Why the U.S. has a diesel shortage?
Yes. So, all right, I'll bring it up here. The diesel fitter. So right now in the Northeast, we're in big trouble because we're running out of diesel fuel. Diesel fuel and heating oil are basically the same thing, except one's taxed more than the other. Last week, Energy Information said that the inventories are the lowest they've been since 2008, which is diesel, jet fuel, and heating oil. However, in 2008, the levels were low coming out of the spring. Currently, they're going low. They're low going into the fall, which is worse.
Well, if you cut through the bullshit, it says that distillate inventories haven't been this low in October since the EIA began reporting this data in 1982.
All right. So there are 4 factors. 2 of those factors are in play every year. But as I've mentioned above, distillate demand spikes at this time of year, but does that every time of the year.
Yeah, it does that every year. But well, this is also the time of year when refineries are doing maintenance. They tend to do that in the spring and fall, which is when demand is lower. Now, what they say, in the spring, there's a demand, but it's mostly like you're a farmer planting crops, that kind of thing. But in the fall, it's people loading up on, heating oil, things like that. And that lowers the amount of distillate we have to make diesel fuel with.
Correct. And then third, the U.S. refinery capacity has fallen in the past few years because several unprofitable refineries were closed. And we're not making new refineries. We're not doing any of that shit anymore. So that's a new factor that appeared in the past couple of years. But the primary reason
there it is.
The cutoff of Russian imports prior to Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Fucking
Putin. We imported nearly 700,000 barrels per day of petroleum and petroleum products. Most of these imports were finished products and refined inputs that boosted the supply in the U.S. So the loss of the Russian imports have caused the problems. And then the refineries are struggling to fill the void. And then also we're not pumping any more oil.
Well, now they do say that some relief is on the way and some diesel imports are on the way from Europe to the East Coast. But the distillate market won't likely return to normal before next summer at the earliest. So what are we going to do?
Well, I mean,
and is not
running out of diesel fuel on the East Coast. Then what happens? They can't bring food in. They can't do anything. Everything that you get is brought in on a truck. Truck runs on diesel. And as far as I know right now, they don't have any electric trucks big enough to haul freight.
Well, we're just going to have to, all of us with minivans and trucks are going to have to pitch in. This guy's how it's going to have to go, John.
Boomer 886 says he lives in Vegas but won't retire there. She?
I saw earlier they said my husband, so I'm assuming.
Well, see, no. He might have a husband.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to genderize.
Yeah, see. There you go.
$15 for regular in Nevada? Regular what?
$5.15 a gallon for. I don't think.
$5.15. I can't read.
They them said.
I was going to say a regular blowjob, maybe $15. Jeez.
My wife. See, I don't know what's going on there, but anyway.
Whatever.
We don't care.
Who cares?
Gallagher died, age 76. No problem. His brother's going to take over.
You know how he died? Sledge-o-matic.
It's like
now his brother bought his act years ago and went on the road trying to do it, and I don't think it worked out well. Like, isn't that like if Andrew Dice Clay's brother bought his act? Not that he has a brother, but if he did and bought his act, and he's going around, hey, Lord of Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
You wouldn't have known.
Oh,
you wouldn't have known, except somebody told on him. They were both doing the act at different.
Were they twins?
They're not twins, but they look a lot alike.
Really? I never seen it.
You never knew. You didn't know.
That I know of.
See, back before the internets and the interwebs, there was no way of being able to check up on this shit. So let's say actual Gallagher was on the East Coast. Gallagher 2 could be in the Midwest doing shows. Nobody would know. You can't, there wasn't the internet to say, wait a minute, how's Gallagher in Oklahoma and Boston? How does that happen? So that was the best part. He had the hat sewed in he had the stupid hat with his hair sewed in. I love that part of it. I'm sorry. I was a big Gallagher fan.
I liked him back in the 80s. He kind of got tired, wearing those. He just like the 90s came and his pants, his skin tight pants or the Woodstock look that he carried sometimes, it just stayed very 80s.
I thought he looked like a mime. He kind of, to me, looked like a mime. But you know what? Carrot Top's doing his act now, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, he doesn't smash fucking watermelons.
No, but he does all that prop comedy shit.
He fucking smashes weights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Liz Cheney.
Cunt. I'm sorry. Did I Tourette?
Yeah, you might
My
have.
bad, man. I do have Tourette's. Motherfucker. Biscuit.
Is this the one? No, I got the wrong one. What I brought up the wrong story. I apologize. I didn't put it up there yet, but where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
Want me to bring it up?
I got it.
So she talked about Ray Epps, right, in a video, I guess.
Yes. Hang on. Do you want to
Today,
bring
Grandpa?
Why don't you bring it up? Because
Bring it up.
mine will double if I do it on this.
All right, give me a second, and I got to click here,
Right.
click here, and click here. Thank you, StreamYard, for making that so convenient.
I know. It's a little tough.
Thank you so much. My name is Daniel Schmidt. I'm a second year. I actually hope to run for office someday, so it's great to talk to a sitting representative. Really is an honor.
Good. You just have about 6 more weeks.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate it. But listen, I've been following this January 6th committee really closely, and I just wanted to ask you about, some of the facts here. So on June 9th, you cited the Department of Justice and their prosecution of the Proud Boys, some of the members of the Proud Boys, and the Department of Justice said these members directed, mobilized, and led members of the crowd onto the Capitol grounds and into the Capitol. So obviously that's a crime, that's insurrection, and I guess you made the right call there. The fact of the matter is we have another person on camera doing exactly that. His name is Ray Epps, and it's not a conspiracy theory. The New York Times shows quote, we need to go into the Capitol. I'm going to pick it out there. I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail. Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. That's not a conspiracy theorist. We have an actual insurrectionist on tape, and yet he's escaped prosecution. So let me just ask you right here. Do you demand the prosecution of Ray Epps? He's an actual insurrectionist on tape. Do you demand his prosecution?
Let me answer the question, because I think there's some confusion about...
What confusion?
You shut up.
Confusion about the role of Congress.
Oh.
And
we do nothing.
Who makes decisions about prosecutions. I don't think anybody has denied that videotape exists. I've seen the videotape. I've seen thousands of people saying things like, let's go into the Capitol. You've seen trials of a number of people who did go into the Capitol. You've seen convictions of thousands of them.
Bullshit.
So I think the question
Thousands.
is, whether or not you understand who makes prosecution decisions. And the people who make the decisions about whether they're going to prosecute or not are at the Department of Justice. Now, in terms of what I've seen and in terms of what we've said, in terms of what the Department of Justice has said, Mr. Epps, there are conspiracy theories around the role that he was playing that day. People are pushing this notion that somehow he was doing what he was doing because the federal government was telling him to. That's not true.
Agent provocateur.
There's no evidence of that. And the Justice Department and the committee have both said that clearly. But I would say that if you're so concerned about violent acts at the Capitol on the 6th and about insurrection, it is really worth looking at the transcripts of some of these hearings and looking at what the judges have said. Nobody should use violence to attempt to overturn the government.
That is not pertaining to his question.
It's not. And here's the thing. She also forgot that there's one point where they're standing at the barricades at the Capitol, and Ray Epps is standing next to this guy, and he leans over and he says something to the guy. And then that guy immediately grabs the barricade and pushes it back, and everybody starts pushing it. The fact that he has not been brought up on charges, the fact that he is allowed to just escape by, it stinks to high heaven. There, he is, what did you call him? An agent provocateur?
Agent provocateur.
Yeah. He's at least that, if he's not part of the FBI himself. And the fact that they've never done anything to even bring him up or even question him in front of Congress is bullshit.
Check this out. This was in the comments. After I asked Liz Cheney about Ray Epps, another student immediately apologized to Cheney for my, quote, behavior and called me, quote, the worst this campus has to offer.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why? What did he do? He asked the question. He was politeful. He was respectful, and he wanted an answer. And there was nothing wrong with the question that he answered. How is that the worst that the campus has to offer? Here he is.
Fed.
Yeah, they are calling him a Fed because he's saying, yeah, tomorrow we're going to go in there.
Right.
Fuck. I mean, what more evidence do you need? There he is right there, but yet he walks the streets. I'm sorry, he rolls around on his farm.
Yeah, they know where he lives.
Yeah,
He's in
I've
Arizona.
seen video where he rides up on one of those John Deere golf carts and was like, "What? Yeah, bye," and then he turns around and goes back.
Yeah, they know where he is.
Sure. Yes, that is also the title of a Foreigner album, Agent Provocateur.
Okay.
So it was so urgent that he told me that.
Yes, it is.
Urgent.
All right. You want to go with the Baldwin sues the Rush set people?
Yes, I'm bringing it up now there, Johnny.
Okay.
So everybody remembers the set of the movie Rush and Alec Baldwin's awesome aim and handling of firearms incorrectly. Let's see. Now, we didn't really cover this much in the last month or so, but didn't the husband of the woman that was killed,
yes,
didn't he won some money from Alec Baldwin? Well, he didn't win it. I guess they settled out of court, whatever, for her death.
Right.
And he used that. He's using that money to fund continuing making the movie.
Okay.
And it's supposed to continue shooting, pardon the pun there, in January, from what I know. Now, I could be wrong, over-opinionated, under-informed, but now Alec Baldwin sues to, quote, clear his name in the movie set killing.
So he didn't shoot her and kill her and also shoot and wound the associate producer or director? He didn't do that? Am I wrong in saying that? How are we clearing his name?
Baldwin filed a cross-complaint in Superior Court in Los Angeles alleging negligence against some of the people sued by a script supervisor, Mamie Mitchell. Among other things, it seeks to a share of any damages that Mitchell may win from the people Baldwin names and asks that they pay for any damages assessed against him. Mitchell was standing behind Hutchins, that's the lady who was shot and
Right.
died. Let's see. This happened over a year ago, October 21st, 2021. Mitchell sued Baldwin, who was a producer on the film, the production company, and many others involved for assault and negligence. In his cross complaint, Baldwin says that while working on camera angles with Hutchins during rehearsal for a scene, he pointed the gun in her direction and pulled back and released the hammer, which discharged. The shot fatally wounded. Yeah, we know all this. This tragedy occurred on a movie set, not a gun range, not a battlefield, not a location where even a remote possibility should exist that a gun would contain live ammunition. Now, he's kind of right there, but it's also his duty, as many movies as he's made and as much experience as he has, this man should know, it should be common practice, mandatory, that he checks. Pop the rounds out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what does that take? A couple of minutes?
There's so much that went wrong during this shooting. And as far as I'm concerned, when you have a firearm and you're holding it, and it wasn't even part of the scene. They weren't even shooting a scene. He just pulled the trigger for whatever reason and shot and killed her and wounded the assistant director. So again, he looks like, what an asshole. You know what? Take a knee. You're lucky you're not in jail. All right. The fact that you're not in jail now, you want to, your reputation is, I don't care what lawsuit you have in the court of public opinion, you're a sleazebag. No one, again, he's been an asshole his entire career. The shit he did to his daughter, the shit he did to his first wife. He was constantly punching paparazzi. I mean, just a real piece of shit, allegedly.
Well, Baldwin's lawsuit alleges negligence by armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, prop master Sarah Zachary, first assistant director and safety coordinator David Halls, who handed Baldwin the gun, ammunition supplier Seth Kenny, and his company, PDQ Arm and Prop, which also supplied prop weapons for the production.
This all could be 100% true.
Yeah.
This all could be 100% true. Absolutely. Why is there live ammunition, on the set?
Well, I remember that it was said that, earlier in the day while they were, bored and waiting for this to get going, they were somewhere off in the distance popping cans with live rounds.
Yeah.
So that's just carelessness,
There's nothing to do in.
It's all fun and games until someone starts, loading live rounds into a prop gun.
All right, going back, we have a Trump deranged syndrome person in the chat. He says, Boomer886 says, foreign companies spent millions of dollars of unused rooms at Trump's hotel in D.C. trying to influence the government. You know what Trump didn't do? Trump didn't send his son and his brother around to countries picking up suitcase full of cash, where 10% goes to the big guy. He didn't do that.
Well,
Trump didn't do that. That's Biden. Come on, break. That's a business thing. If they did that.
Well, you know what else they didn't use? And this is a conspiracy theory.
Go ahead.
They didn't send a bunch of money to Ukraine that then pumped money into what's it called? FTX.
FTX.
And then all those billions of dollars just disappeared. Yeah, that's money laundering 101, people.
Yeah. And Biden's like, I think he spent a couple more billion over there, another 400 million.
He was that guy who was in charge or owned whatever that what is it, FTX?
FTX, yes.
He was the number 2 donor of the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
So and I think Elon said it best when he's like, yeah, nothing will happen to him.
Nothing will happen to him. Duchess says Trump did some sleazy shit in AC. Absolutely. Never liked the guy.
Hey, AC, heat, who cares? Sleazy shit. You can do it in the air conditioning. You can do it in the heat.
Listen, I think I said this before. I don't even know where I said it. Trump won the presidency over the most unlikable candidate in the history of candidates, Hillary Clinton.
Biden?
Then he lost to the second worst candidate in the history of candidates, Joe Biden. So he lost it. So he won and he lost. So he's like the third worst president. Well, that wasn't the worst president.
He's a twat.
I like what he did. I liked his policies. But you know what? Other people can enact his policies that aren't such a live wire, like Ron DeSantis. And they're going to hate Ron DeSantis because he's effective. Democrats are going to hate him because he's effective. And he ran Florida and made Florida better. The people of Florida just reelected him overwhelmingly because he was doing such a great job. And he could do that to the country. What? It's time to go? It's 8:08. Okay. Let's go. Hugo! Any prediction on the game tonight?
So we're going to leave a little bit earlier than usual because, there's a game on we got to watch. Monday Night Football and a team that we love and want to see win another one. So I have some time off this week, so don't be surprised if you see it come up in your notifications wherever you watch this crap, preferably Twitch, because I don't think I'll stream anywhere else. But I may jump in here and just get on here and just talk for a little bit and then leave again. So it's up to you. If you notice it come up, pop on in, say hi, give me shit, call me dumb, whatever you want to do. John's welcome to join too if he's bored enough, but I think he's loaded with work, so who knows? Might see him, might not.
Might see him, might not. All right. Hold on. What's this? The Commanders suck. Won't be hard to beat them. I hate
sometimes, yeah.
Defense, they got a very good defense.
Their defense knows how to disrupt an offense.
I'm predicting the score 27-14.
I'm going to say 35-21.
All right. Go Birds. We'll talk to you later.